Hi everybody, it's Janet with Fruit of the Vine Art Studio. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's a beautiful Saturday outside. The sun is shining here in Cincinnati and it just looks gorgeous out there. It's going to be pretty warm today too, from my understanding. It's going to be in the 60s, I think. And we are just a couple of days past Thanksgiving at this point, so it is wonderful to have this kind of weather at this time of year. As far as Cincinnati, Ohio, that's pretty good for us. Today I'm going to do a little Christmassy thing though. If you remember last year, we had huge amount of the large sleds, these right here. If you can see that right there, that's an 18-inch sled, and I've got quite a few of them, and I've got plenty of those left. But, I understand that yeah, there's not a lot of room at everybody's house, that it's not that convenient to put a big 18-inch piece of wood somewhere, or 24-inch door hanger and things like that. So this year I thought it might be nice to do things on a smaller scale, so to speak. And I have these really cute, adorable 12-inch sleds. They're nice, kind of compact. You can hang that on your door. You can set that on the mantle. They're very pretty. You could put a couple of them under your tree. You could put packages sitting on these, and that would look really pretty too. They're so small that they're not going to take up so much space, but they're still big enough to where they're cute and adorable, and you can paint stuff onto them, make different scenes, or you can do simple stuff like what I'm going to do today. I've already painted this white, as you can see. I've got it going white. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a napkin and some Mod Podge. But I want to make this part up here, the top part of it, I'm going to make that red. So I've got a little bit of red paint right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and just put some red right over top of the white that I've got. Just here on the adjuster, the controller, I guess. I don't know what you call this part of the sled. What is this part of the sled? Anybody tell me? Does anybody know? What is this part called? I know this is where you pull it back and forth and guide it. Is this the guider? Maybe that's what that part is called, the guider. I'm not sure. I know that's how you guide it, is by using this particular piece of the sled. Somebody know? I don't know. Tells you how much I know. I know about getting on it and going down the hill. The rest of it, I think that's all I really need to know, huh? If you can get on it and ride it and enjoy it, that's the whole fun of a sled. Now, obviously, this is not a rideable sled. Might be for your toy if you got a kid and your kid wants to put their doll or something like that on there to ride it. That would be probably plenty big enough for that. I'm just going to go around the outside here of the edges so that it's got a nice finished look to that. I want that to be red all the way around. First, let's go ahead and finish this across the top so that it's got a nice smooth look to it and not a dry line in the middle where I've stopped and let that dry. Let's just keep moving along the top first and get that completely covered. There we go. Now these little sleds, if you're interested in these, this little sled, I can get you together with some, I'll put you a scene on it. If you want a scene on it, I'll send it to you plain. If you want it plain, you let me know how you want it. I've got lots of different designs. All the designs from last year are still available. You just let me know what you're interested in. Got a couple of new designs for this year that I haven't put out yet. Things have been, I apologize that I didn't put out my big Black Friday sale and everything like I did last year. This has been a different year for me. Things are a little bit different this November. We're just working on getting some regular stuff done at this point. Had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Had my mother-in-law over, and I had my brother and my nephew and my sons and Jessica and the kids. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. We had about 10 people here. My nephew Patrick. I don't know if I mentioned him or not. I don't know. David, Jessica, Allison and Damien, Stephen, me and Steve. Gloria was here. It's my mother-in-law. It was very, very nice. Very, very nice. We had a wonderful dinner. Everything came out perfect. Well, pretty much perfect. I'll tell you, the deviled eggs this year were dearly deviled. Dearly deviled. They turned out wonderful and tasted great, but I don't know what the heck happened. They did not want to get turned loose from the shell. They had very tough membrane to the egg. What makes a tough membrane on an egg? Anybody know? I don't know. I just licked that off, didn't I? I just wet my thumb to get it, so that was all I did. I just wet my thumb to get that paint that was on the sled rail instead of on the guide here. I'm calling it the guide. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to call it a guide. Let me see, am I getting this right here? Because I'd like all of that to be a nice cheery red. Maybe a little bit more right there. And I just want to make sure that the paint holds the little glue spots together pretty well, and I don't really want you to see that right there, so I'm just going to kind of go over this again with one more layer of red. And that way it'll also be a little brighter too. The red will show a little better, which is what we're looking for here, a nice cheerful bright red. And I got that paint out. May as well use up as much of it as I can, huh? That's what it's out for, to get used. You could even do red rails if you wanted. That'd be very pretty too. But we're not going to do that for right now because I've got something else that I want to show you that I'm going to do. As you can see, I've got some Mod Podge out over here, and I've got a really pretty napkin sitting next to me. So I'm going to try something like that. I'm going to try, let me rinse this off since that's red enough now. Just need a little bit of water in there. Get that out of the ferrule area there. The ferrule. Wild area, huh? Hey. Okay, so now we've got that part of it done. Next thing I'm going to do is I am going to cut my napkin. I've got this beautiful napkin here, and I'm going to Mod Podge this napkin right onto the face of this. So I need my scissors right here. I'm letting that red dry on there. Let me move this out of the way. I'm going to go around the back here and just get this excess red. Certainly not worried about it being on my fingers, just wiping it off. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this snowflake area that goes all the way across right here. I'm going to cut this whole thing out. And I want to get every bit of it. I don't even care if there's a little bit of the white. Because it just fits the face of this cute little sled. So if you've got some fancy Christmas napkin that's got a design that's at least half, this only has it on two sides. It's only two-sided napkin. The other two sides are just white. It's got a little, border around it, but as you can see, This half's just white, so I'm not using that. I'm going to put that off to the side. And I'm going to take this right here, and I'm going to peel the backing off of it. Just got to find the spot. Usually where I've cut will come apart pretty easily. But this is put together pretty well. There we go. I see it right there. I see it. Can I separate it is the question. Yeah. Oops. There we go. You be gentle when you do it. You don't want to just yank it and rip it off real quick, because it's perforated around the edges. They've perforated it to hold it together. So if you pull it real quick, you're likely to just tear your napkin. And of course, now I won't be using every inch of it, but I don't want to start out with a big tear in it. If you do, though, you can just put Mod Podge on and then smooth it down real nice, and a lot of times you won't even see the tear. So, you know, it's not the end of the world if you tear the napkin. It's okay. Put your Mod Podge on, smooth it down. Don't worry about it. You're going to be the person who knows that it's torn. It takes somebody else forever to figure it out and see it. What's that? Just a little ook from the table, I suppose. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do here, while that's still drying up there, is I'm going to put Mod Podge on the face of it right here. So let me have a little chip brush here, and I'm going to open up my Mod Podge, and it's just plain old regular matte Mod Podge. Plain matte Mod Podge, and it's just, this is a chip brush, just a cheap, easy brush, chip brush. You can find these at like the hardware store. You can get them at Michael's. I'm sure you can buy them at Hobby Lobby too. And I'm just going to put a layer of Mod Podge right on the face of here. I don't really want to get it on the railings and over the edge and a bunch of crazy though. But I want to get it all over the front. Real good. Put it down in between. That's not going to hurt nothing. I'm going to get this extra out of there. You can see it puddling up in there. Now I'm going to do this while it's still wet. You can see it's dragging a little bit of red onto there. I'm not even going to worry about that, guys. That doesn't hurt anything because the napkin's red and white. That's not even going to show through. Need a little more of the Mod Podge, though. I didn't get quite enough. I want it to have a pretty good layer. Like I said, I don't want it all puddled up and globbed up in this inside area. So I'm going to pull it up out of there. Okay. That looks pretty good. Just going to put that in the water, put the lid on here. Take my napkin. I'm going to have to turn it to where I can see where the top is, make sure I'm getting everything completely covered. Oop, shouldn't have done that. I'll just have that. I'm not going to worry about that. It's okay. Put it right on there. Take my hands and smooth it down. Let me get that little edge over. Let me turn this around to where I can see it. This little extra piece that got cut along with it. Just There we go. Little wrinkles in here. Let me get those out. Just pressing it down real good, getting it all completely on here. Between the little slats. Now, I don't know, what do you think? Should I worry about cutting out the little slats or just leave them the way they are? I don't know. Thinking about it. Thinking about it. Okay, I'm going to take my little sanding block now and I'm just going to go around the edges. Straight around the edge. I don't know if there's anything to sand off of this side. I think it's all right on there. Let me turn this to where it doesn't, that's kind of tore up on that side. I don't want to tear it up over here. Excuse me. Going around the outside part of this is going to get a little harder right here. Maybe I can do it with just the side of the sanding block. Let's kind of pull this off. Where I sanded. Pull that down right in there. Let me see, I'm going to take this and just press it down on the inside there. Okay. Just going to kind of take this, pull it off around the edge right there. Let me see if I can, I can sand the red paint off, but that's okay. I'm going to put a little more right there anyway, from where I messed it up some. Okay, so let me see, will this come loose? Let me get that. Maybe if I get just a little bit of water, that might be a way to do it. Get this little cup. Plain water. And I'm going to wet this piece of the napkin where I want it to turn loose. There we go. Go back to my red and just touch up these spots right there. To where you don't even see that. Where I touched it with my finger and everything else, and just cover it up. Okay. Throw that in the water too. that off of my hand. Okay. This is what we got so far. Isn't that cute? Just a cute little sled. Now, if you wanted to do the slats, you could easily take your scissors and just kind of cut your way down through here. Try not to make big tears in it. Oop, there we go. Just take it and press it down. Let me see. What I need is my X-Acto knife. That would be perfect. That did pretty good. Let me take this side, see if that'll do it. I know what to do though. I'll put Mod Podge down on the inside and then just smooth this down. Let me do the same thing right here. I'm just going to cut right through it. You want to come out? Come out. You don't need to be in there. There we go. I'm going to glue those down on the inside. Do the same thing right here. Right there. It's hanging to me. Turn loose. Okay. Pressing it down in there. What I'm going to do is take a brush and drag it, do the Mod Podge, and then drag it down to the middle of these. And that'll help secure it. Just take it right like that. And brush it right down along the inside. Wipe off a little extra there. Okay, let's turn it around again. Work on this middle area. I'm just going to kind of dab along real quick and then try to spread it a little more evenly. I want you to lay down, you little thing, not come up out of there. There we go. Not too much. Okay. Very, very simple. Ooh, let me slide that in there and swish that down just a little bit. Smooth that a little bit. You can see it when you're doing it. But, oop, that's not right. Push that down in there. There we go. Okay, and then we just got to work on these two at the bottom. And that way it'll help secure it on there at the edges and it won't come loose. There we go. Then I have this beautiful Merry Christmas that I'm going to put on the front of it. Here, it looks better if I show it to you guys backwards. There you can see it now. That's what it says, Merry Christmas. And I'm going to put that on this. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to turn it sideways and hang it this way this year, like hang it this way on the door, instead of hanging it this way on the door. Something a little different instead. I think I will. Put it this way. Or maybe I should turn it that way. And that way you can go either direction with it. Since it's sort of small and it doesn't take up the whole thing, maybe I'll just turn it sideways like that. Okay, so now for that, I am going to use my tacky glue. Let me shake it down here first. Oh, did I get it down there? I don't know. Where's the clear one? Here's quick dry. Let's go with that. Either way, it's tacky glue. So I'm just going to flip this over and put some glue on the back of it. Got a little piece of paper underneath there. Okay. Just gonna put a couple of dots along the bigger portions. I want it to stay on pretty well. But I don't want it to come oozing out of it, and then you're not able to see, well, you see big globs within, although I don't know, tacky glue dries clear, so you wouldn't really see it anyway. But you know, I don't want to use an abundance of something that I don't need to. So I'm just putting little dots. Oh, let's put it all the way down around this. Okay. Get that little piece of paper off of there. And that cocoa hair off of there. Okay. And then we're going to turn it this way. Just like that. Put that right there. And then I've got this pretty red and gold bow. See how this looks now? Merry Christmas. Kind of just going at an angle, and that way I could hang it this way and make it hang in that direction. Be a little different. I'm getting glue on me or paint. I want to make sure it's not paint. And I can see that one little piece. Let me get it from underneath. There we go. Take care of that, huh? Okay, so we're going to take this. I'm going to put it here to here. Is that a piece of tape on there? Take that off. There to here. Tilt that. Bring it from there to there. From here to here. Tilt that. There to there. Here to here. Okay. Put it off right there. See what I've done now? I've got, oops. I just folded it and folded it over, back and forth, back and forth. Let me set my tacky glue on the top of it to hold it together. I'm going to get me a little piece of beading wire. Cut that off. Bring that back to there so it doesn't go crazy and start unspooling itself, because it's been known to do that. I'm going to take this, pick this back up, turn it and look at it. Here you go. I want it to go right through here. I'm going to just take it and pinch it together. Pinch it good. Where's my other piece of wire? Come here, you. Sort of like a bread twisty tie. Holding the two ends together, I'm just twisting it around. Okay. Let me get another piece about that long. Make a loop with it. Pinch it together at the bottom. Take this wire and go through here. Bring it around and go through again. I'm going to make sure I'm getting all the little end pieces of that. Maybe go over a little bit. Over here. Okay. Another little twisty tie kind of wrap again into the back of it. take my bow, push it in, sort of fluff it up a little. I don't want the bow to be so big as to overwhelm my little sled, but I want it to be fluffy and pretty enough to sort of stand out a little bit. Okay. Scoot you down and bring you up a little further. Make it fold here instead. Proof that one up. Okay, so now that's ready. Got a pretty bow. I want it to have 2 long ends. So let's take one more piece, about that long, cut it. Fold it in half. Cut that at an angle. Give it a twist. Could have done all of this at one time. I should have. But that's okay. And then we'll bring these down underneath the bottom of it. Bring that wire back here. Nobody's going to know I put all that wire on there but me and you, right? Let me make this just a little. A little more pointed on these 2 sides. There we go. Gotta keep moving it around, but it'll look pretty once I get it all put on here. Puff that back up. Put these 2 together over here. Okay, that's enough fluffing around with this thing. I gotta stop it. Let's get these 2 white poinsettias. Let me get these cutters again. There we go. I should just put these through. Trying to decide, where should I put the poinsettias? Should I maybe put them to where they're like this on the front with the lettering? I don't know about that. I think I'm going to put them right up here with the bow. Just like that. Okay, so that's stuck on there. I'm thinking so. Turn that over. I'm going to put the bow right there. So let me see. I'm just going to hook these with wire too. Why not? Let me get another piece of wire out here. Oop, oop. There it goes. See what I mean? It wants to undo itself. We're not going to have that. Bring it right back over here and around again. There. You stop it. Okay. So I'm going to take this and the back of this one that I've already got twisted here and just twisty them all together. Because what the heck? Tie them all together here. Wrap it around it a few times so it ain't going to get nowhere. Let's see, I want this to go right here in this corner. So let me flip it up. Look at what I'm doing. I'm going to take it and put it through the sled's rail. Bring it back up. Bring it back underneath the sled rail. Bring it back over to this side of the sled rail so that it won't go anywhere other than where I've got it. Let me just pull that a little tighter right there. Okay, have we got it tilted right? Looks right to me. Okay. Take this poinsettia. Put it right here, and maybe put this other one right there. Or even this might be better. Let me look and see here. I'm going to have to trim those down, but for right now, bend it up so it faces up. Well, let me see. That kind of takes away from my pretty bow, doesn't it? If I put the two poinsettias over here, kind of offset to the side. What do you think? Sort of like that? Or leave it alone. I really kind of like it like this too. I mean, you could always take the poinsettias and maybe get a one on each side of it like that. Let me see what that would look like. Just slide it underneath. Stay there. Here, let me see if I can slide it underneath both of them. There we go. this one underneath both of them. Get the leaf to show. The 2 poinsettias right there. Oh, pull that up from out underneath there. I think that looks pretty. I think I'm going to leave it just like that. Let me go over here. Where's the other? Okay. I'm going to kind of fold this up. Put this right there. And then I'm going to wrap this around there to hold it. Come on, get both of you over here. Put my bow back down. Left my bow back up here. It's kind of got mangled a little. Oh, I worry too much about the bow, don't I? Especially considering I'm just shoving poinsettias on top of it. Maybe put the bow on top of the poinsettia. All right. I think it's done. All I got to do is put some string on it. I'm going to put string from here up to this hole right here on the side. Hang it that way. I think that turned out really cute. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for joining me today. I will see you again real soon. All right. Bye.